Hi everybody, I'm Cherie Huet from Cherie Makes Cakes, and today I'm going to show you an easy way to make a homemade wedding cake. So this is the beginning part of making our homemade wedding cake. I've already cut off the tops, leveled the tops as we say, of our two top layers so that those can nicely and uniformly come together. And how I achieve that is just simply by cutting into the layer. This is our bottom, until you feel like you have a nice, smooth, even ledge. So now we're constructing our second layer. So we're filling our second layer. Our first layer doesn't have a filling. We're not going to torte that one. We're just going to leave it as is. So for the second layer, what you want to do, an easy way to create the filling, you have to create a dam around the outer edges of the cake. So it's just really easy to put it into a pastry bag and then just simply pipe your way around. If you don't have a special filling that you want to put in, you just want to use the same icing that you used for the dam, then just continue to use your pastry bag and just fill it in like this. Then you can smooth it out with your spatula after. And now it's time to add the top layer, which actually is going to become our bottom layer. Is put this just right on top of the other cake and give it a little push. Just make sure it's on there. Then we're going to flip this over and voila. Now the next step is to give your cakes a layer of icing that we call a crumb coating. And the reason for that is that, even though we brushed it with the pastry brush, you're still going to have some loose crumbs, and that's going to get caught up in your icing. So you want to do that, and then put it in the refrigerator or the freezer for a couple minutes, and let that sit until it's nice and hard. So now we can start to apply our fondant. So in order to make sure that you roll out enough fondant, you need to measure your cake. I'm going to make sure that I roll out an 11, at least an 11. I'll probably roll out 12 inches just to be safe, because we can always cut off the excess. So this is pre-packaged fondant. This is about half a package right here. So I'm just going to warm it up. Just got to kind of knead it and get it pliable. Now if it gets a little sticky on your hands, you can take your little duster bag, and again this is filled with confectioner's sugar and cornstarch, and just kind of give your hands a little dusting, and that'll make it easier to do this. If you were coloring your fondant, this would be the time to add your color and knead it through, but we're going to make ourselves just a traditional nice white wedding cake. Then using our rolling pin and our guide underneath, whoops, sliding around a little bit, just roll it out, because you want to cover both sides. So again, the sides of our cake were 1.5 inches, and since you have two sides, you have to double that. So we're talking 3 inches plus our 8 inches across. And that's how we come up with our 11 inches. So now we're going to roll our fondant over our rolling pin. You can just kind of let it rest right there. We'll get our cake. So here is our cake. And basically just kind of unroll it in the same way that we just rolled it over. Now, when I want to take our fondant smoothing paddle and just give it a nice swirl from the top. And then you want to start smoothing down the sides. So you can see you're getting that nice edge at the bottom. You can do it with your hands or with the paddle. The paddle just kind of helps to create a nice crease at the bottom, because we're going to be cutting all of this excess is going to be cut away. This is just a pastry cutter, which I found at my local craft store. And just start to just go right around the bottom. And I'm going to make a cut here, just so that I can start to pull it away to make sure that I'm getting it at the right angle. And here we have our second layer of our wedding cake. So it's nice and ready to add on top of our bottom layer. So we just want to, you know, just kind of look from the top down, make sure the cake is secure on our table, and just gently drop. There we have our constructed wedding cake. And at this point, it's really up to your artistic, creative discretion as to how you want to decorate it. You want to add border at these levels, just kind of cover up those seams is a really nice thing to do. And you can add flowers, you can actually paint on the fondant. There's so many different things that you can do. And there we go. That is our homemade wedding cake. Well, thanks for joining me today, everybody. Again, I'm Cherie Huet from Cherie Makes Cakes, and happy wedding.